Welcome. This is Brian and Christina Hagen from Your Healthy Steps, where we offer foam rolling and self-care training so you can be active, pain-free, healthy, and do what you love to do.
Yep.
Okay, so why do our muscles get sore, tight, and achy? Well, we've talked about this before. It's not just because you're getting older. It's because of the collection of scar tissue, adhesions, repetitive motion, and poor posture. And so today we're going to discuss repetitive use of our muscles and why repetitive use can make our muscles sore, achy, and tight. So repetitive use, what is that?
Okay, so repetitive use is really what it sounds like. It's just repetitive use. It's using something over and over and over. A good example is a mouse or typing. 9 hours of typing. That's a repetitive use. But it can also be something as in sports, say like a marathoner, somebody who runs 26 miles. That's a lot of running. It's the same repetitive motion. Tennis is another good. Pitchers, throwers. That's another good example of repetitive use. So it's really just repetitive, the same motion over and over again.
Okay, and I know you can answer this one, but what causes it?
So again, it's your job, it's your sport, it's your hobby, it's the things that you do in your life. So it's really, you have to look at your life and find the things that cause that sort of the same motion over and over and over again. A cashier is another good example.
Yeah.
It's that rotating from most cashiers, it's either left to right or right to left, but they do it over and over and over again.
Right.
So again, it's pretty much anything you do that can cause it.
Yeah. Okay, so how does repetitive use affect our muscles?
Well, again, it's using muscle, so we're breaking the muscle down as it's contracting and elongating. And generally speaking, you're either using the muscle in a very short range, so we're only this much out of the full range, or we're repeatedly using it in its full range, right? So again, it's wearing out that muscle. It's just pounding it and pounding it, creating scar tissues and adhesions, which are building up in there. So again, you just wear out the fibers, and that's where it causes the problems.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts? Is it comparing the short movement or the long movement of the muscle? Is there one that's worse or better?
I think that's a great question, and I'm pretty sure there's statistical data out there that proves it, but I would say both are terrible, right?
Okay.
Because think about it. I mean, if you're in the situation that you're typing and you're only using this movement, and you've been doing that for 23 years, I guarantee you that's bad. It doesn't matter if you had full range, it's bad, right? Or if you're a tennis player or a pitcher, right, and you can't do the sport that you love to do because you've had this then it's bad. So I'm a big fan of if you can't do the things that you love to do, it's bad.
Okay.
So that's my answer to that. But statistically, I'm sure there's data out there that one's worse than the other.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to impact your life.
And I've heard you talk about the carpet in our house before.
Right.
Where you have this path.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
That's that wear and tear of the carpet, right? And again, you can just see that you overuse something again and again and again. As one, you're developing a pattern. So that causes a problem when you deviate from that pattern, right? So the muscles that are outside that, doing ranges that you haven't programmed in day out, you can actually have injuries because you go to do something completely different and it doesn't really know how to do that well. And then obviously if you think about something that's used again and again and again, you're going to wear it out. Just like that path in the wood floor or the carpet or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You can visually see the carpet worn out. You can't see that with the muscles.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So what can we do about it? I mean, if I'm a secretary and I'm on the computer a lot, I can't just quit my job.
Right. No, and that would be ridiculous. I mean, the thing is one, be aware, right? Be aware of the repetitive stuff that you're doing, and then take breaks. I mean, I know a lot of places that it's hard to work those things in, but restrooms breaks are awesome. But even if you're stretching your fingers out, get some finger stretches that you can do. You definitely want to get rid of the scar tissue and adhesions that are built up over time because of that repetitive motion. So again, stretching isn't going to break that stuff out of there, but the self-care tools will do that.
Right.
So that's really, really important. So again, figure out what your repetitive motion is, know what's causing you the problems or have the potential to cause the problem, and then take breaks. Movement is always awesome. So, if you can't do that during work, as soon as you're off work, you got to find time to move. and then stretch, if it's your fingers or your shoulders, find the stretches and the exercises that can help with that.
And then we tell our clients a lot too we refer them to a PT or a fitness trainer.
Yes, because there's going to be weaknesses built into this repetitive motion. There's going to be muscles that you just don't use, and you're going to need to know what those are. And that takes a little bit more knowledge and expertise. And so you might need a physical therapist or a fitness trainer that's trained in that of how to strengthen those figure out where your weaknesses are and help you balance that out strength-wise. Yeah. So yes, we're very strong advocates of finding the professional that can help teach you and train you so that you can be balanced in your strength and countermine the repetitive stuff that you're not going to be able to get rid of. If you're an athlete and it requires that, you're not going to quit your sport. If you have a job that requires that, then you know what I'm saying? So yes, get the expert to help you out. Absolutely.
Definitely. Okay, so our question to you is, have you found that your job or your hobby has a repetitive motion involved in it and has caused some tightness or problems in your muscles?
And my guess is there is. Even what I do, everybody does. So figure it out. That's the key. That's probably one of the most helpful things is for you to answer this question.
So I guess that's it. Figure it out, right? And then let us know below.
Yeah, let us know.
That's great. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Well, if you're interested in learning more about the foam rolling and self-care programs that Brian and I created, well, I'll put a link below. Okay. And it's yourhealthystepstools.com. And then I'll also put the links to the other videos that relate to this one, talking about scar tissue, muscle adhesions, and posture, and how they can contribute to our muscles feeling tight, sore, and tender. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. This is Brian and Christina from Your Healthy Steps.
Bye-bye.